Hey there everybody, PTPOP here, all four lobes of my brain, securely bound behind my back, and today I'm going to talk about how to have success in a call center. Before I get to the main topic, I want to introduce you, especially if you're a new viewer, to my book called Press 1 for Murder. This is a book of fiction I wrote, which is about a guy named Jeremy. The main character's name is Jeremy. He works in a call center, the pressures get to him, and he kind of flips out. A variety of his customers have turned up dead, and the police suspect he is killing his customers. I wrote this and published this, I think, about a year ago. It's for sale on Amazon. Get yours now while supplies last. But you can buy it in paperback and in digital format for your Amazonian reader, your Kindle. But it's Press 1 for Murder. Get yours now. I've had some good reviews on it. I think you'll like it. It's a novella. It's about 145 pages long. You'll do well with it. I also have a podcast, which is on iTunes and it's on Spotify and a variety of places. My podcast is PTPOP, A Mind Revolution. On my podcast, I discuss how to make yourself aware of how you're being tricked and manipulated by corporate media and advertising agencies to buy their products, and how to lead you out of that trance that they put you in. You're being manipulated through behavior modification techniques to get you to buy their products, eat in their restaurants, buy their shoes and their clothes, things like that. And it's a very basic, straightforward podcast. I don't go into a lot of conspiracy theories or anything like that. This is all straightforward psychological techniques they use to manipulate you and use you to get you to buy, to consume, to buy, and to consume, buy, consume. So check that out. I also have music for sale on the internet. This is just my first CD. My first CD I recorded in 1999. It's called Child's Play. And it's a CD of 12 original songs. This will soon be re-released. It was on the internet 20 years ago. It's not on there now. I'm going to re-release this. It's got 12 original tracks with myself singing, playing guitar. A wonderful, phenomenal, genius musician plays on it with me. His name is Robert Carruthers. He plays bass guitar, lead guitar, and piano. His brother, Chris Carruthers, plays drums. It's a great CD. And I'm probably going to have this, I'm going to get this up here probably by the end of this week. So we'll see how that goes. So today, I wanted to talk to you about how to succeed in a call center. Now, before you say, yes, Pete, I want to succeed in a call center. It's what I've dreamed of my whole life. When I say success, it depends on what your definition of success is, okay? Now, what I'm speaking of when I talk about success, I'm talking about being able to go into a call center and tolerate it for an extended period of time. Because most people, 80% of the people you meet in a call center will be gone within 6 months to a year. So most people don't last any longer than that. The average person is gone within a couple of weeks. But if you are determined to work in a call center and you think it's a good job for you, I'm going to give you the tips and tricks on how to get your foot in the door and stay there for about 6 months to a year. Now, if you have bigger goals than that, you're going to have some phenomenal personality characteristics to stay longer and to advance beyond the call center. The first thing you need to do before you work in a call center, if you don't have a degree, let's say you're working in a fast food establishment like McDonald's or Wendy's. If you currently work in a place where you get benefits, I don't think McDonald's and Wendy's give benefits, but let's say it's Walmart. Let's say you don't have a degree, you have your high school diploma, and you're working at Walmart, and you think the grass is greener in a call center. You think, I got to get out of Walmart. I can't stand these crazy customers. I'm going to go to this call center. Right now, you're working in a Walmart, you're probably making an okay wage, and you've got benefits. From what I've heard about Walmart, they give you good benefits. I think they give you bonuses and profit sharing. You do have to deal with crazy customers, but you're with a strong, stable company right now in the middle of this retail collapse, because retail is imploding. You really have to question yourself whether you really want to go into a call center. And I'm telling you, really, before you go into one, you have to really do some deep soul searching, because call center work is gut-wrenching, soul-destroying work. It is one of the worst jobs you personally will ever have. And if you think you're going to the grass is greener, I want you to really sit down and think about what you're doing. Think about the current job you have and if it's really that bad. Because I would imagine you're thinking you're going to go someplace better, you'll make more money, but you're going to leave a good job. If you currently have benefits, most call centers are not going to give you benefits unless you stay there 90 days. Okay? But the catch is most people don't last more than 2 weeks to 60 days right out of training. They quit or they get fired. So you're going to quit a job with strong, stable benefits to go to a place where you're not certain about the environment. There's not a good chance of success. If you go to the call center and you forfeit your benefits from the previous company and you get fired at the call center, you're going to be without benefits. So what I'm saying is that the call center job is not always the answer. It's not always the best solution. It may look good. And what they do and what's going to happen is if, say, let's say, I'm using Walmart just as an example because I heard it's a good company to work for. If you leave Walmart or you're thinking of leaving and you go into the interview at the call center people that are interviewing you are basically feeling you out to see how well you take it when they bend you over. And I'm not being facetious. They get their rubber glove in their hand, and they're slowly inserting their finger in your backside to see if you flinch. And if the deeper they push the finger up your backside, and the less you flinch, the more likely they are to hire you. They're seeing how well you can take it. Because in a call center, they're not going to be putting their finger up your backside. They're going to put bigger things up your backside. And if you don't like things up your backside, you don't want to work in a call center because you're going to get taken advantage of big time in a call center. So really think about where you're leaving and if it's really that bad. Now, let's say, for instance, you go into a call center, you get hired, which you're probably going to. Most people get hired unless they're really completely felons or, they've done something horrible in their back. Or most people, anybody with a heartbeat, a pulse, hey, he's got a pulse, let's bring him in here. He chews bubble gum and he can walk at the same time. Hire him, Bill, hire that guy there. I don't care if he's got purple hair. Hire him. You're going to get hired. So you get hired. The first thing you've got to do to succeed in a call center is to get to work a half an hour early before your shift starts. So if your shift starts at 3 p.m., get there at 2:30. I'm not kidding. I don't care what you say about it. That's what you've got to do, because what it's going to do is if you walk in the door half an hour early and your supervisor's already there, which he or she probably is going to be, they're going to see you walk in the door half an hour early, and they're going to go, hey, look at that new guy over there. Hey, he's serious about working here. Let's make a note of that. He's here half an hour. Hey, Bill, he's here half an hour early. I don't care if he's got purple hair. Yeah, he didn't flinch when we put our finger up his backside in the interview. He's here half an hour early. Get him ready for the escalated calls and for promotions. But get there half an hour early. Get there in time to take off your coat, to put your lunch in the fridge, chat with the morbidly obese HR woman at the water cooler, and then go to your desk. Be at your desk 15 minutes before you have to log onto the phones. And when you do this, get your computer turned on, get logged into all the systems you can ahead of time, and then get on the phones, be logged into the phones, even if they tell you can't be. Try to be on the phones and logged into the phones because they clock your time that way, at least a minute before you're supposed to start. So if you get there at 7:30, get your lunch in the fridge, say hi to the fat HR lady, help her with a drink of water, at the trough. Oh, help me with my water, please. And then get to your desk, close your eyes, take a deep breath, log into your systems, log on the phone, start taking calls. Because what they do in these call centers is a very politically charged environment, and they watch all those little nuances, all the little things you do that are good. They're going to watch every minute of what you're doing. So put on a good face, show them that you're serious, and get there early. Another thing you absolutely positively have to do to succeed in any corporate world and in any job is be sober. I'm dead serious about this. I've run into too many people that come in the job reeking of booze. They go in their cars and get high on pot. I had a friend that used to work at Progressive Insurance, and every break and every lunch he'd sit out there with his one hit. He had a one hit that looked like a filtered cigarette. He would just sit in his car and just toke on that until, you know, he got all fired up and or blottoed or whatever you call it. And but you have to go to work sober. If you want to be taken seriously in the corporate world, you have to show that you're a serious-minded person. Being sober is vital. If you have children, if you have a family you're trying to take care of, you're responsible for, the last thing you want to do is get fired for being intoxicated on the job. You don't want that on your record. You don't want that rumor going around that you're a drunk or an alcoholic or a booze hound or a pothead. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing cute about it. There's absolutely nothing good about it. Be to work early and sober. And that's with any job. But just because you work in a call center doesn't give you the right to get stoned before, during, and after work. Now this is only if you want success. If this is a job that's just like a middle job that you're just doing until you can find something better, then you know you can just go on to the next video because you won't listen to this anyway. But if this is something like, if you're a serious-minded person, you're trying to get ahead, maybe your spouse has left you with 2 kids and you've got a mortgage now, and you're desperate to survive in this world and make sure your kids have a good place to live and you have a decent income, do these things that I'm telling you, and you should be fine. Okay, number 1. Another thing to consider is if you have a fear of getting fired or getting written up at these jobs, it's going to permeate your performance. It's going to affect your performance because you're going to be living in fear and you're going to be paranoid. I know this from personal experience. I would start off with these call center jobs. I feel really good about myself, but I see my numbers would come out. They give you the numbers at the end of each week or day or month or whatever, and I see them, they waver, they go up and down, and you think, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. You know, there's a good chance you're going to get fired from a call center job to begin with, okay? There's a good chance you're going to get written up. I think everybody gets written up or everybody gets fired or there's always some type of disciplinary action taken upon their employees. It doesn't matter what call center, it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't matter what industry you're working in, you're going to face disciplinary action because they have never figured out another way to motivate their employees. They do it through fear and intimidation. If you have adverse effects to fear and intimidation and fear of getting fired or fear of getting written up, you will not succeed at this job. Do not take the job. Okay? But if you can get past that, keep in mind that there's a good chance you're going to get written up at any given time during the course of your tenure as a call center rep. But if you do have a fear of intimidating factors like getting fired or written up, and it affects your ego and your mindset and your emotions, you're not going to succeed. You have to have that emotional side of you in check. Another thing is if you're the least bit timid, if you're the least bit sensitive to foul language, bad attitudes, and conversations going on around you that are inappropriate, then you shouldn't be in a call center. You have to have very thick skin in a call center because the conversations I heard around me covered a whole gamut of things, from weird sexual acts to talks about bar fights to racism to any disgusting topic you can think of, you will hear it in a call center. Okay, so if you're the least bit sensitive to conversations like that, don't take the job. Okay, but if you want to be successful, you're going to put plugs in your ears. You're going to ignore all that stuff. Ignore the chatter around you. If you're a highly religious person, keep your mouth shut. Okay, if you hear somebody talking about something that you feel is not Christian or not Muslim or not whatever your preferences are, do not stand up and preach to them. Do not bring your Bible into work. Do not tell them they're evil and they're sinners and they're going to hell. I've seen that. It doesn't work. You're going to get yourself fired. They're going to work you out. If they don't fire you directly, they'll find a way to work you out of the system. So if you're sensitive, keep your mouth shut. Okay, and this leads to my next thing. The most successful people I've seen in the corporate world in general are people who can keep their mouth shut. The corporate world is looking for drones. The corporate world is looking for yes men. The corporate world is not looking for Norma Rays and activists and social activists that stand up for equal rights. They're not looking for people to fight for racial equality. They're not looking for people to fight for religious equality. They're not looking for people to change the rules. There's rules in place in these corporations that have been put in place by attorneys and accountants and actuaries and all kinds of people that have put the structure in place because they want you to work in a certain way. They want you to step in line, stay in line, and don't go outside the lines. So if you see something that's really offensive or outrageous, I'm not saying don't go to HR. But I'm saying if you can tolerate it, keep your mouth shut. I'm saying if you want to succeed in the call center, you're not going to make waves. You're not going to make waves because the girl next to you came in a leather miniskirt with thigh-high boots and she's 6 months pregnant. I've seen this stuff. You're not going to make waves if somebody's smoking pot in the bathroom. You're not going to make waves if somebody's smoking cigarettes in the bathroom. I've seen all this stuff. You're not going to make waves if you run upon two guys committing a homosexual act in the stairwell. I've seen this stuff, okay? You're just going to shut up and go to work and keep your mouth closed. In other words, have you ever heard the expression, he wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful? That implies that if somebody is stuffing a whole big turd in your mouth, like, and you want to go shit, you go, oh, it's poo, oh, there's poo in my mouth. You don't say shit. The corporate world wants people who stay the company line. They don't want you out of line. They want you to step in line and do as you're told. They want you to dress a certain way, speak a certain way, sit a certain way, stand a certain way, eat a certain way. They want you on the phones when they want you on the phones, off them when they want. If you can't handle that, you will not succeed in the call center. If you can't keep your mouth closed and you're a Norma Ray or you're a social activist and you think you're going to change the call center and the call center environment and management, you will never make it. You will be gone quick. They will work you out of the system without having to write you up. Keep your mouth closed. Keep your eyes on the screen. Take the calls and do as you're told. Okay? The one thing, this leads to the next thing. Now, you're going to hear all kinds of chatter around you from your coworkers talking about all kinds of horrendous things. But when you start taking the calls in an inbound customer service call center, you're going to be called some of the most dirty, filthy, disgusting things that you've ever heard in your life. Okay? And if you can't handle those kinds of words, and you're sensitive, and you're very emotional about this, and they make you cry, you're not going to be able to take it. You will not succeed. So the only way to succeed is to be able to make up your mind going to work and say, you know what, I know I'm going to be called a cocksucker today, but that's okay, because I know I'm not a cocksucker, and doggone it, people like me, you've got to have a thick skin, because you will be called pickle sucker, cocksucker, motherfucker, dickhead, retard, fucker, any dirty word that they can call you, they will call you those names. The customers will call you that to get credits on their account, or to get fees waived, or to get free this or free that, or a free phone or a free whatever. And these customers are going to ram it straight down your throat and up your butt. And if you can't take that, you're not going to make it. You have to be prepared. If you want to succeed and last for 6 months to a year in a call center, you have to be prepared for abuse from the customers. You're going to be abused. Now, there's ways to curtail the abuse, and that's by taking control of the call and stay polite, because if you stay polite and you stay friendly and you stay professional, the customer will hear that you're not getting upset, okay? So number one, don't take it personal. Number two, control the call. Number three, keep your temperament, keep your temper about you. Do not let the customer know you're upset. Don't even show any weakness. Be quiet, let them vent, and then respond to them. Say, Mr. or Mrs. Dickhead, I'm sorry you're feeling this way. I understand. I know you're frustrated. Let me see what I can do to help you, okay? You've got to disarm these people. If you can learn to disarm them, not take it personally, disarm them, and then go on with the call, the people will settle down. What I would do is when people started to tee off on me, I would sit back, I would listen to them, and then I'd say, oh, okay, I'm really sorry you feel that way. I understand. And when they saw they didn't get a rise out of me, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to emotionally manipulate you and coerce you into getting upset with them. They're trying to bring you down to their level. So you'll finally cave in and you go, oh my God, I just want to get this guy off the phone. Here's your $50 credit, you fucker. Go on with your pathetic day. They're going to hang up the phone and go, yeah, I did it. I got that pussy to give me the credits. You don't want to do that. So learn how to control the call. Don't take it personally. You have to go into each call with a mindset that I can handle this. And you cannot take it personally because you think these people don't know you. They don't know who you are or what your background is or anything about you. So as long as you can maintain your composure, you're in control the call. And I'm sure most of you heard this, but I'm not going to go into what it is to control the call, but you'll have success. So just a brief summary, you have to have an aptitude for this, okay? Get to work early. Be at your desk 15 minutes early. Be sober, don't get high before, during, and after work. Don't be afraid of the politics of getting fired or written up. Don't take it personal. Control your calls. Keep your mouth shut. Don't complain and gossip about people around you. One of the most important things is you have to be prepared. If you want success in a call center, you have to be prepared for a very politically charged environment, okay? If you thought high school was bad, you ain't seen nothing until you work in a call center. Because what you have mostly in a call center are adults without college degrees that are resentful that they didn't get to go to college, then now they're stuck in a call center. And there's little cliques all over the place. There's manager cliques and director cliques and customer service cliques and sales reps cliques, and everybody's bitching and moaning and whining, and they're all talking about each other, and they're all gossiping and being just bitches across the board. Just a bunch of a-hole bitches, men and women alike. Doesn't matter what sex you are. You have to be prepared for a high school-like politically charged environment. If you do not want to work in that kind of environment and you can't handle that and you're very sensitive to people talking about you behind your back or making fun of you or threatening you or writing you up for no good reason whatsoever, and you're not going to succeed. You have to be prepared for the politically charged environment, because what the managers do in the call centers, like HR in the initial interview prepares you with the finger, with the rubber glove and the finger going up your backside. Is he flinching? Is he flinching? Is he flinching? Well, the managers put the glove on their whole arm. Then they try to put their fist up your butt. And then they ram it up there and they ram it harder and see if you flinch. And if you don't flinch, they're going to respect you. They're going to say, hey, this dude can take it, man. He can take my fist right up his ass. And I shoved shit in his mouth. He didn't even say shit. He just said poo. And his minute he said poo, and he said, please put your fist harder up my ass. You have to be prepared for war in these call centers. If you don't like a politically charged environment, if you don't like people cussing at you, if you don't like people disrespecting you at the management level, people looking for any reason they can to write you up, this is not a good environment for you. This entire environment in the call center is toxic and it's unhealthy, and you have to be prepared for it, okay? You're literally hitting the beaches of war. You're on the Normandy beachhead on D-Day in June 6, 1944, and it's time to let the ramp fall from the landing craft, and you're hitting the beaches, and the bullets are going to start flying, and most people can't hack it. Most people fall apart, and they just wither up on the beaches, okay? And I think the final thing is, if you get to a point where you know you can't take it anymore and you've had enough, okay, don't quit. Don't just stand up on your desk like Tom Cruise and stomp on your desk and smash the computer terminal and yell, fuck this place, it fucking sucks, I'm out of here, you fucking assholes, and march out. It sounds good. It looks good in Hollywood, right? It looks good in Hollywood because, you know, everybody does this in the movies. Hey, take this job and stuff it. You know, hey, buddy, your job sucks, I'm out of here, you know. Because most of us have responsibilities. Most of us have kids, mortgages, rent payment, you know, car payment. And to do that, you're cutting your own throat. You're literally, it's like, number one, you don't have a job anymore. You don't have any money. Your benefits are gone. If you got kids, your kids are screwed. So you're putting your kids, your wife or husband at risk, and yourself. Number two, you're going to get a reputation for being an asshole and for being known in your community to be into job abandonment. It's called job abandonment, when you just up and quit your job and no one will want to hire you again. Now, they're not supposed to talk about that. Now, if they call in, if somebody calls in to verify your employment, if you're stupid enough to put that person on a resume and on the next job application they call in, legally, Human Resources is not permitted to say anything good or bad about you. They can just confirm the dates and the times that you work there. My coffee. Only coffee, people. No booze in here. Do not quit like that. Do not just storm out. Do not be an asshole. Do not think, because number one, it doesn't do anything. It's not like in Hollywood. This is real life. This is not Hollywood. And I know all of us here in the United States, I know a lot of people watch my videos that are in all other countries. But here in the U.S., we all believe, everyone thinks they're John Wayne, or they think they're Tom Cruise, or they think they're Nicolas Cage, or whoever your idol happens to be. And we think I'm going to tell them what I'm really thinking when I leave this job, and I'm going to burp in their face and shit on their desk. And it doesn't do any good. If anything, number one, you're cutting your own throat. Number two, you're getting a bad reputation for job abandonment. And number three, you're going to get labeled and probably put into HR as a hostile employee in this day and age. And if you come anywhere near those grounds again, they'll probably call the cops. They'll probably call the cops. So you'll be considered a whack job. Just don't do it. Don't keep, like I said, keep your mouth closed, stay sober, go to work and do your job. Don't worry about making friends. Don't worry about socializing. Just go and shut the hell up and do your job. That's all you can do, and not take it personally. If you want to be successful in the corporate world in general, this is basically how it works in the corporate world. You go in the corporate world, the minute you cross the threshold, the doorway of any corporation that you work for, whether you've got a degree or not, whether you're the staff accountant, or you're the guy answering, bringing in the mail, you go to work, you speak when spoken to, you speak how they want you to talk, you sit where they tell you to sit, you dress how they tell you to dress, you eat when they tell you to eat, you go to meetings when they tell you to go to meetings, and you don't complain about your job. You just don't. You have to be very stoic, almost sociopathic to succeed in the business world. You have to have one focus and one focus only, and that's that job. So these are just a few of my tips on how to succeed in a call center. I'm sure I'm leaving a couple things out, but this is basically it. Just go in, put your nose at the grindstone, and go home, and just forget about it. As I said in my previous video, I believe each and every one of you can do better than a call center. So use the call centers as a stepping stone, either to get into the next level of that company if you feel it's possible, or to pad your resume to get out of that company and get someplace better. Use it for tuition reimbursement, use it for money, use it for benefits until you can find a better job, because I believe each and every one of us can find a better job than working in a call center. So I think overall, if you have to do this, this is some good groundwork on what to do and how to succeed in a call center. But you have to have a mindset for it. The most successful people I've seen in call centers have a predisposition for it. They have photographic memories. They have a sociopathic mentality. Nothing bothers them. You could sit there and call them a cocksucker all day long and be like, whatever, dude. I don't care what you call me. I've seen it. So you're going to work with some really strange people, and the most successful people are very sociopathic, unemotional. So just remember, don't say shit if you have a mouthful. Subscribe, give me the thumbs up, tell your other call center survivor friends about my channel, and don't let it get to you. Don't let the bastards get you down, damn it.